Deborah Anderson with another episode of Local Flavor. We're here at Destination Kitchen in beautiful downtown Norton, and Georgia's going to teach us how to make key lime pie today, and Cindy's going to be assisting us also. So, key lime pie, why do we call it key lime pie?
Generally, key lime pie has key limes in it, which are a little bit smaller than the Persian green limes, and they are yellow. Okay. They're a little harder to find, and so it is okay to use just regular limes, which I am doing today.
Okay, so we're going to use Persian limes instead of key limes.
Yes.
But let's still call it key lime pie.
Okay.
It'll taste the same.
That's right, it will. So the first thing we're going to do is make the crust, and I have ground some of the graham cracker crumbs that I need, but I don't have all of them ground.
Okay.
And so this is going to get a little noisy, but we are going to grind some more graham cracker crumbs. This is a KitchenAid food processor with the metal blade attachment, and it just grinds things up very nicely.
We use this one a lot for the show.
Yes, we do. It is. It works really, really well.
How many graham crackers are we using altogether?
Approximately 30 graham crackers.
Okay, now this is my question. When you say 30 graham crackers, is that a rectangle, or see how there's like
the
rectangle? Break them into 4?
Right, it is the whole rectangle like this.
Okay.
Yes. So now I am going to add in the macadamia nuts. This particular crust has chopped macadamia nuts in it, and these have been toasted. I toasted them. I did. And so now we're going to grind this up in there.
Now, are macadamia nuts hard to find?
They're not hard to find. They are a little expensive, but they add a lot of flavor. They have a really buttery flavor, and they taste wonderful.
All nuts are a little expensive, but they're so good for you.
They are. So I'm going to move this out of the way.
I'm checking the crumb.
And it's going to look a little bit like it's got large crumbs in it, but that is from the macadamia nuts.
Right.
And so we're going to measure out. Oh, there's one that's almost whole there.
Now, are you measuring this because you can only use part of it, or just because it's easier to scoop?
It's easier to scoop.
Okay.
Well, and actually when I get down, I'm not going to put that big, there's a couple of little bigger chunks in there, but and then we'll go ahead and just empty that in there. And then the next ingredient that we're going to add is I have 8 ounces of melted salted butter.
Okay. Sometimes you use the no salt butter if you want to control the salt, but this time you're using salted. Okay.
Right. There's no other salt in this particular pie, and so we can use the salted butter in there. And it just helps add flavor and bring out the flavors of the different ingredients that are in there.
Did you just melt it in the microwave?
We did.
Okay.
Yes.
No
and I'm
special
just gonna
technique on that then.
Stir this around, and we just want the butter to moisten all the graham cracker crumbs and the nuts, so then it'll stick.
And we don't put any sugar in this, right?
There is just a teaspoon in it, so it's not a lot of sugar.
You had that in with the graham crackers?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
It's very windy.
This is the pan that we're going to be using, and it does have a removable bottom. It's similar to a tart pan. And it has nice tall sides, and so it works really well for this because it is called a king-size key lime pie.
Right.
So we'll just scrape this into the bowl.
Wow, it looks like it's going to fill it all up.
It does. And the crust on this is supposed to be a thicker crust. It's supposed to be between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch all the way around.
So it's a large
So
component,
it
not
is.
just a container for the pie.
And so I'm just going to take my hands and press the crust around the sides. And I usually try to do the sides first, and then just to make sure that it has the right amount of crust all the way around, and then we'll press it into the bottom.
Well, it's good to see you're just using, there's no special tool you have to use for this.
That's right. That's right.
Although kitchen tools are so fun.
They are. They are fun. So then we just kind of want to even this out all over.
Look how full that is of crust. That's awesome.
It is. I just want to get that pressed down in there. And I do have the oven preheating at 300 degrees. And we're not going to bake the crust, we're going to bake the whole pie when we get the filling made.
Okay.
So we'll set that right over there. Actually, we're going to need that bowl.
Are you going to use that to make the filling too?
We are.
Might as well.
And I'm going to take and just wipe this out just to kind of get the graham cracker crumbs out of it. Get it out of the way.
I love these new bowls you guys have. They're
Aren't they
so
pretty?
pretty.
Emile and Ray, they are made in France, and they are wonderful, wonderful bowls. So the first thing I'm going to do is separate 3 eggs. And I need the yolks.
You're just going to use the yolks
I'm
in
just
this?
going to use the yolks. And so I'm going to separate this out.
That's how Cindy did it when we made creme brulee. I remember that. Now you don't look like you're using those eggs that are colored.
I'm not. I just grabbed some that we had in the refrigerator here.
So, and it's not because of any,
No.
just because those were on hand. Okay.
Yes. Just want to make sure I get all the white off there.
Now, we are making whipped topping for this, right? Some
We
people
are.
save the whites and make a meringue topping for their key lime pies, but we're using a different.
Right, we're going to have a whipped cream topping on that. So we're just going to put these back and we can save those for another use. I'm going to clean my counter up a little bit here. So the next ingredient we're going to use is freshly squeezed lime juice. And I've squeezed most of it, but I need just a little bit more.
Okay.
And so
Do you-
this is a Persian lime, a green Persian lime. And so I'm just going to cut this in half.
Key limes look a little bit more almost like a lemon, don't they?
They do, they do. They're yellow and a little bit smaller.
Oh, look at this gadget you got here.
It
I would have put it in
is.
upside down. I'm glad you said that. I've seen them in the store, but I've never used one.
And so I need a cup and a half.
Okay, I was going to ask if you measure by the number of limes or if it's by the volume of juice.
It is by the volume of juice. So we'll get just a little bit more in there. Set that aside. So I have my cup and a half.
It smells good. Lime juice smells so good.
It has a very distinctive smell. It smells very citrusy and limey. So the next thing that we're going to put in,
Oh, I don't recognize this.
sweetened
What is
condensed milk.
It hasn't had anything done to it. It's just sweetened condensed milk?
Right, and it is 3.5 cups. I have it measured out. And we're just going to pour this in with the other ingredients.
Let me ask you this. Was it out of a can or did you somehow sweeten and condense it
No,
regularly?
it was out of a can.
Okay, thank goodness.
And just get all of that down in there.
And I read somewhere that sometimes the sweetened condensed milk will give things a little bit of flavor like they were cooked when, even if they aren't. But we are going to cook this pie.
We are. We're going to bake it. And so at this point, we're just going to whisk this up and get all these things out of the way. And I like to start out kind of slowly because the sweetened condensed milk is a little heavier, and then the lime juice is very juicy, and so we don't want it to splatter out all over.
Now I think sometimes, not in modern, now that we're more worried about germs and disease and things, but you can get enough thickness from the milk and the lime juice mixing together that some people, that's how they thicken the pie. But we're going to thicken it more with the cooking too and make it safer.
That's right. So we just want to make sure this is all incorporated really well together.
It smells so good, you guys. Now, sometimes if you go to a restaurant or buy a key lime pie at the grocery store, it looks so bright or a mint green color.
Yes.
it's not actually green.
No, it has more of a, just a real light yellow color
Especially
to
if you're
it.
using the key limes with, because they are a lighter color too. So if they're green, they added food coloring, I believe. That's okay though, it looks good.
So now we'll pour this into our pie crust,
See, it doesn't even look like it will fit, but we'll see.
but it does.
It looks almost like cheesecake right now.
It has a similar consistency.
But it smells so bright and fresh instead.
We'll just level this out a bit. And this does bake in a 300-degree oven.
300 degrees,
Mhm.
okay.
And it's going to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. So we'll hand this to
But
Cindy.
really with that filling, you had so few ingredients. That was pretty simple.
It is. It's pretty simple to do. So here's one that we baked ahead of time.
35 minutes later, except you chilled it too, right?
Yes, and this pie does have to be chilled. You cool it out on the counter until it is cool to the touch, and then you want to chill it overnight. And that helps it set up also.
Now, Georgia, how did you get that out of the pan without making it fall apart?
Well, the bottom of that particular pan is removable.
Okay.
And so that helps, and you
Push
just
it up.
kind of loosen around the edges, you know, with a very sharp, you know, pointing knife or something like that, and then just get the bottom to come up.
Is the bottom still under here?
It isn't.
Okay.
It isn't.
Good job.
So now we are going to put some of our whipped cream in a pastry bag. And the whipped cream is just 2 cups of whipped cream and then a half a cup of powdered sugar.
2 cups of whipping cream and then powdered sugar? Okay.
Yes. And you just whip that up.
Oh, and you're going to make it look pretty.
Yes.
What kind of tip do you have on this?
I have a large star tip.
Okay.
So we'll see how well I can get this down in there.
So you're using a bag. Some people have the little machines like a cookie press kind of looking thing.
Mhm.
What's the advantage, or is it just choice?
I think it's preference. This, to me, the bag, you can control, you know, how fast it comes out a little more. So we're just going to squeeze all of that good whipped cream down to the tip.
Awesome.
And I'm just going to get it started a little bit here. And you can decorate this however you would like. We'll just do some circles around.
How many will you put on, or does it matter?
I think I'm going to do 8 because there's going to be 8 pieces of pie.
Everyone gets one pile.
Everybody gets a little bit of whipped cream with their pie.
Well, you know, the way you're doing it makes it so that people can spread it out to cover their whole pie without it getting messed up with the knife.
That's right.
That's so pretty.
I'm going to have to put a little bit more whipped cream in there.
That looks beautiful when it's freshly made.
Yes.
Gorgeous. And you told me already, but it's powdered sugar, right?
Yes.
With
Yes, it is. Let's see, that's 6, isn't it? I need 2 more. I think I spaced some of them too close together. But we'll get 8 on there.
It's 'cause
There
this
we
one
go.
was a little.
And so another
That's
thing
the
that you can
dad's
do to decorate this is to take a lime and slice a thin slice of it.
Did you do anything to prep that lime, like wash it?
I did
or-
wash it,
okay, good.
yes. Yes, I did that ahead of time. And then just put a twist of lime right on top of the whipped cream.
So there will be no confusion over what kind of pie it is.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
That's pretty.
And I think we're going to actually cut a piece.
Oh, good luck. I hope it doesn't crumble.
Well, it's a graham cracker crust. It is going to crumble some.
I love the looks of it, isn't it pretty? I'm talking to myself.
And we'll get that out.
Oh, look how thick the crust is.
Yes, you can see. So you get all of that the macadamia nut and the graham cracker and.
I'm going to show, look at the, you can see the macadamia nuts right there in the crust. Awesome. So is this one for me?
I think it is. So we'll get you a fork and let you taste this.
Let me start with the whipped cream. It's so fresh, yummy. Okay. I have never, ever, ever tasted real homemade key lime pie, so I'm super excited. I see it on my lip. Such a bright, bright flavor from the limes. So much brighter than the frozen kind.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I love it. Georgia, that wasn't even that hard.
It isn't. It isn't hard to make. It takes, you know, a little squeezing action, and you know, your food processor does a lot for you with making the crust, and then you have this wonderful pie to serve.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that.
You're
because
welcome.
I would have thought it was much, much harder. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for joining us here at Destination Kitchen for this episode of Local Flavor from Nex-Tech Television.